Hello. I recently did a class with London Drawing Group and Emma Carlisle about birds. It was a really good class. Excuse me. I really recommend checking out London Drawing Group if you haven't already. I found them on Instagram, and they do really great sessions. And these were the bits and bobs that we did for the class, drawing birds, like learning about their feathers and their textures and the different shades and how you could shorthand the detail. But anyway, so yeah, we did these cute little birds, and then we finished with this gorgeous owl. And as one of the warm-ups, Emma asked us to just lay down some colour and just lay down some random shapes for the birds. And I have these two guys left over because I originally did these and I was like, no, I want the owl to be bigger, so I put him in here. And so I thought I would finish these guys off and talk through some of my materials and some of my methods and try and bring them to life. I have some reference pictures just over here. But yeah, let's go. The technique that Emma suggested was to get the base colour down just like these and just splodge around some ideas. Then it was basically layering. Then the next part was to just get some shapes, some colours, and just do some mark making, not to create any direct shapes or any direct details. It's literally just to get some mark making down. I created like a rough colour palette that I'm referencing. I'll show you it here. Here, sort of warm, earthy tones with some pops of brights. But I'm still gonna, I think I'm just gonna explore a bit more today. I'm currently using watercolour pencils, the Caran d'Ache Supercolour Soft and Derwent Academy watercolour, that's yellow ochre, just to get some shapes down, some textures down. I don't really know what colours I want with this guy, to be honest. I don't know whether to go a bit rogue, because the reason I started with this one, I didn't like the yellow, so then I moved on to a more earthy base. And I still don't like this yellow, so let's see if I can balance it out. Well, that's a bit better. These are the Tombow brush pens. No, I don't think I want that one. I got these a couple of weeks ago and I'm really enjoying them. They're just cheap. Sostrin Green, I don't know how to pronounce that shop, but they're just the water-based markers. But one thing, because I bought these from them a few months back, but they bleed through, the alcohol ones, and they bleed through the paper, and I hate when that happens. These don't, which is really useful, and they do go on quite nice and wide. They're a good way to put colour down quickly, I think. I'm not testing any of these colours, I'm just kind of playing at the minute. I also like to use, when I'm working, these paint sticks. I got them from Tiger, they were in the sale. They were only £2 and you get all these colours. I mean, it's limited colours, but I think they are nice colours. You can see it here. They go on really buttery. Actually, I don't think I want to use that one. They're not that easy to draw over though, so I might leave that for the end. What other things can I talk you through? These, the Polychromos, Faber-Castell. I'm not very familiar with how to pronounce art materials, and they're all so varied. Everyone says it so differently that it leaves me a little bit stuck. So if I'm butchering the pronunciation, then please let me know. I'm enjoying the orange on this guy. Yeah, I quite like the orange. I'd already done some with this one. What colour is this one? 992. The Tombow. I'd already done some shading on this little owl. I still haven't decided what colour I want him yet. Do we like this one? I think that might be a bit redundant. This is the Caran d'Ache Luminance. What colour is it? Olive brown. But I don't think that's gonna really create anything. A bit of nice shading. This is literally, I have no plan here. I am just winging it. Pardon the pun. The bird-based pun. I think that one's good for now. I'm going to move on to this one. I think what I want on this one is some nice pinks. It's calling out for some warm pinky shades. These are brilliant. I went to, where was it? York Art Museum, York Art Gallery, and they had these in the kiddie section, and I just went over and just drew a little image because I like to do that, and I realised they're really soft and buttery, and I love the thick end that they have. It stops me being so precious about the marks that I'm making. So I really enjoy them, and I would recommend them. I'm going to go back to that olive brown luminance just to create. I'm also trying not to look at reference pictures yet, because I have a tendency to just follow them or go with them. Go with them too much, and then I don't put down some good marks. This is probably way too dark to be able to go over the top of, but we shall see. I'm actually going to use, I know I said I wasn't going to do any purposeful marks, but I just want to mark out the eye sockets just so I know where they're at. I still think this one could get away with some fun pinks. Let's see, these are the Neo Colour. I just got the most basic, maybe these are hard to work over the top of though, so I probably shouldn't be using these now. Let's go with, I think this would be quite fun. This is the Stabilo Woody 3-in-1. Really nice warm pink colour, and it has great texture to it. And I think just one more dark tone will be nice for this little guy. Right, so I've got the basics down of like the undercolours. You can kind of see where that was laid down with this guy. And now I think I'm going to go over and start to build him up and bring him to life. You might look good with some pink. Oh, that's quite fun. I don't know how I want to do the outlines. On this one I did it with pencil, and I did like the result. Yeah, I use pencil a lot in my work for like outlines and ideas. So yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with Old Faithful. So let's add this beak in and some eye sockets. I've already done some warm-ups. Oh, that's a very curved beak. So my hand, I draw quite loosely. I used to draw quite stiff, but I found that when I looked at my work, it just looked really flat. So I spent a long time trying to build that looseness in my work that I think, I'm just getting the basic outlines done now, but I think the looseness is what, when I go to an art gallery and I look at other artists' work, is what I enjoy the most. I enjoy seeing their sketchbooks more than the final finished perfect piece. I enjoy seeing loose, free artwork. I'm just going to try and add in some feather texture. I'd already done it with the watercolour on this one, which I think looks really lovely, but looking at the owls I have in front of me, there's definitely more texture that I can be adding in. Oh, this pencil is Faber-Castell 9000 Jumbo 4B. I do like a chunky pencil. Oh, there was this one I mentioned before when I went to York Art Gallery. They've got the coloured pencils, but they've also got pencils. Lead pencils, not lead, you know what I mean. And they're also really good, really fat ends, so you can do lots of shading with them. Let's see, let's get some texture onto this guy. There is so much detail in an owl that you don't really pay attention to, especially in the UK. The ones I tend to see are like the barn owls that are like just that beige colour, and their feathers are so smooth and they just look so bright against the countryside that you don't really pay attention to the minor details. So it's been really, this class was really good for just looking deeper. I'm quite bad for just looking on the surface and not looking deeper into details of things. I'll do this one with just a bit of a rougher tone. I'm going to make a scruffier one just because I think he'll have more character. I'm always thinking about characters when I'm drawing. Must be the picture book illustrator in me, of how I can make them memorable or fun, or have a little bit of character or a bit of charm. So with these little Lyra Furby, that one is so warm. There you go. Lyra Furby Graphite. They're really good. When you lay them on their side, they have that smudged effect, but they still keep their pigment. It doesn't sort of wash out, which I really enjoy, because sometimes when you turn a pencil on the side and start to use it for shading, it loses that pigment, it loses that texture or that grit on the page, and it just isn't as fun. Give this one a bit more of a prominent head, because he looks like he's kind of, you know how owls like twist their head to the side. I'm bobbing my head as I do this. I'm glad you can't see it. Birds are not something I normally draw, and I don't think they're my strong suit, but it was really informative having that class to just be able to give yourself the time to look deeper. I don't think if I'd have just decided to take my sketchbook out and draw some birds, I wouldn't have delved as deep as I did. I think I'm ready for maybe putting down the base of the eyes, but I'm just contemplating what I want to do that with. I've got these Posca pens. I don't know whether I want to yellow or maybe an orangey. There, that might work. I'll do this one with orange eyes. Oh, that's not stood out as much as I expected. It's getting there. I've got this luminous, like neon, but I think that might be too much. I think what I'm going to do with this one is do a darker shade. This is that Sostring green sauce. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm probably butchering it. This one is Vermilion. Oh, he looks quite possessed. Anyway, I tell you what I will do. I've got another Posca. What's this one? Beige. Just gonna bring the beak detail in. And I've also got this one, Satin Pink. Just to add in some detail for the beak. Just gonna wrap some colour. I think he's got some funky little eyebrows now. I think that's quite fun. This one reminds me of the owl in Sword and Stone. Is he called Archimedes? Archimedes. Ooh, what? I used to quote him all the time. Loved that film. Might be something I have to rewatch. I might match the claws to the beak for this one. I'm really enjoying how this one's turning out. I'm trying not to look back at this one too much, because then I compare and I get stressed. If you can hear sighing in the background, it will be my dog, Noodle. He's currently fast asleep and I think he's having a dream. So he's sighing a lot. He's a whippet. And if anyone has a sight hound or a long boy, they will know that they love to sleep all day, every day. They rarely get up. And that is Noodle. I feel like I have to wait for this to dry to be able to put the... Oh no, we're okay. Let's do... I don't know why I've left the eyes till last. I normally do them first, because then I can kind of get a feel for the character, and I sort of create. I've given him a monobrow. Yeah, I don't know why I've done the eyes last on this one. I think that's what's throwing me off. I was enjoying it until I did the eyes. And now I'm not so sure. I think he looks a bit... They both look a bit possessed. Maybe... Okay, that's not as bad, but still, it's not good. See, I should have... Better the devil, you know, like, stick with doing the eyes first. Because now it just looks weird. But anyway, that was the premise of what Emma was teaching. You can tell I was much more in the zone with this guy. Love the feet on this one. And I think I do prefer more white space. I did do some white highlights. I might add some onto this one. Just with a Posca pen. I'm just dabbing it out because I don't want it to be so harsh. Although I will do a clear one on the beak. But anyway, yeah, that's the general gist. And I think I've had some fun with some materials. But I think I definitely prefer this guy. I see why I abandoned these two and why I went with this one. But yeah, I will get there with birds. I will get the hang of them. I can't get over their faces, they're hilarious. Anyway, have a lovely day. Bye.